Hey guys, what's up? This is Dr. Marci, and I'm coming to you live from my office to do a quick talk about how we are showing up in our lives every day. And I'm just going to turn off some sound here. Sorry. I'm doing this live as well on Zoom so that I can broadcast it to my YouTube channel. So if you're getting a little bit of feedback, that's why. And if you see me pushing buttons that are not at you, that's also why. So one of the main things that I hear in my health and wellness business all the time is that people say they can't do this because they just don't have time. And what that makes me think is I don't want to make the time. And when we don't make the time, when we don't show up for ourselves, when we don't show up in our lives the way that we want other people to see us treat us, then what we're saying and what we're asking for don't coincide. They actually mesh and create a hard stop. And that hard stop a lot of times ends up being our health. So one of the first things I'm going to ask you when you tell me I'm doing everything the right way and I'm doing it healthy is number one, what does your nutrition look like? And I don't mean take a guess and tell me what you think you're doing every day. I mean, I want you to track everything that enters your mouth for 7 days with one of the programs that you can get online. Some of them are free, some of them are a paid app, that kind of thing. If you need one, I can send you a link to mine so I can look at your nutrition. Just let me know in the comments that you would like that, and I'll send you a link. I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to be able to look at your nutrition and tell you where you can make adjustments. Your goal as a woman should be to be getting no less than 100 grams of protein a day, but probably closer to 120. And your total calorie intake for the day should probably be somewhere between 1,700 and 2,200. However else you want to get in calories. But let me tell you this, if you're eating things out of a box every day, if you're eating something out of a package every day, if you're not getting 10 servings of vegetables a day, which a serving of a vegetable is usually only about half a cup. So 5 cups of veggies a day and 1.5 cups of fruit a day, you're probably not actually doing everything you need to be doing. And if you are doing that, awesome. Are you covering it in salad dressing or some kind of dip? Because then you're just doing yourself a disservice. And then how much fluid are you taking in a day that's not caffeinated, not sweetened, and no flavor added to it? So I track my water intake. My goal every day is no less than 100 ounces. Right now I'm doing 75 hard, so my goal is 128 ounces. I didn't make it yesterday. I only made it to 100 ounces. And part of that was because I went to bed near 8:30 because I was toasted yesterday, exhausted. It didn't happen. So today I'm making more of an effort. So your nutrition, how are you showing up in your nutritional life? How are you showing up in your family life? Are you someone who makes a plan but then doesn't stick to it, makes promises to spouse, kids, self, in-laws, whoever it is, and doesn't keep it? What are you doing when you're at home with that family? Are you engaging with them, or do you have a device in your hand? Do you allow them to have a device in their hand? Especially if you work out of the home, consider that you really only get a short amount of time with these people. You get, hopefully, 18 years where they are in your home learning from you. And how, over that 18 years, have you taught them to behave and interact with the world? Has it been through the television, through an iPad, through a tablet, through a computer? Or is it face-to-face, having a true one-on-one conversation and engaging in joke telling? Even if they're not jokes that you really find funny, remember that you were once 5, 7, 10, 12, 15, 18, 20, if you've got a 20-year-old living at home. And really consider What are the things that I want my child to take into their family life when they leave my home? What am I teaching them about how to be a human? And consider that. And when you are showing up for your spouse or your partner, are you doing the same things that you want them to do for you? Are you showing up in the same way? Are you giving them everything you have in order to be present and serving them the same way that you want them to serve you? Or are you asking for everything and giving nothing to that relationship? Really, truly consider that. And then at work, this year has been very different, right? Many people are still working from home. I don't work from home. I come into the office every day, and I have this whole year. But many people are working from home. And how are you showing up in that work? So are you someone that said, my boss isn't looking over my shoulder, so I'm really only going to do half the work, and I'm going to expect still the same raise and the same promotion and the same everything as I would if I was sitting there in person? Are you acting with integrity? Are you getting the things done that you would get done if your entire team was watching the way that you behave in an office setting? And what are your goals for your work? Do you set an annual goal, a 3-month goal, a 6-month goal that you want to achieve in order to grow in your role at your work? Even if that work is Starbucks, McDonald's, Home Depot, it doesn't matter if you're trying to reach CEO or if you're just trying to get to a point where you are content with the work that you do and satisfied with the way that you're doing it. How are you showing up as an employee or as a boss? And the last thing we're going to talk about is, how are you showing up for yourself? How many commitments did you make to yourself last year that you didn't keep, that you really feel like if you had kept them, you would feel better? How many times have you told yourself, I can do this, and 2 or 3 days in, you've given up? How are you showing up for you? Self-care can be a lot of things. And one of the things to me that it is truly taking moments to myself to just breathe. One of the ways that I also do it is I swim. There is nothing like staring at the bottom of a pool and that black line and no one being able to reach you because you can't hear them when you're in the water for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. There's a lot of time to think, a lot of time to work through conversations that maybe you're not ready to have out loud yet, but can work through in your head. A lot of time to do some soul searching, and maybe even that's your form of meditation. But how often are you doing that? You should probably be taking 5 minutes at the beginning of each day and at the end of each day to start and end with gratitude. And all that has to be is something small. Like, this morning I was very grateful because my body needed the rest, but I slept through my alarm for 2 hours. I was very grateful my pillow was comfortable enough that I actually slept through the night without waking up. I was very grateful that a few years ago, my husband bought me an espresso machine for home so that I can make my own latte. I'm very grateful that I have a job that I get to come to every day where I love what I do. It's that simple. Yesterday, as I was going to bed, my kids have helped me make dinner the last 2 nights. They're 10. I'm very grateful that they don't mind helping in the kitchen and that they actually enjoy learning new things. How are you showing up for yourself? Are you someone who promises yourself things and then doesn't actually achieve them? Do you take any time to breathe life into you? Do you take moments for yourself to be grateful? Just think about those things today as you keep going. And I encourage you to start a gratitude journal. One of my girlfriends did it differently last year. She took a big glass jar. It was probably, let me just grab this really quick. It was probably the size of this jar, maybe double. And at the end of every day, or whenever the mood struck her, she took these little slips of paper, wrote down what she was grateful for, and dropped them in the jar. And at the end of the year, she had over 500 things in that jar to be grateful for. That's a pretty amazing thing when you think about the fact that most of us have a roof over our head, we have clean drinking water, we have electricity, we have ways to watch these videos that we're doing, ways to listen to them. We have the ability to go for a walk outside, and especially as the weather is getting nicer, to be involved in nature. We have so much in our lives. And sometimes I feel like we're still grabbing at other things. I need this shirt. I need those pants. I need that outfit. I need those shoes. I need that new phone, whatever it happens to be, because we're not content within. So I would encourage you to take those moments and remind yourself what gratitude feels like, what it sounds like, and who you want to present to the world. I hope you have an amazing rest of your Wednesday, and I will chat to you all later.